Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, February 14th. Well, a couple of inches of snow fell last night in the Philly suburbs. There was some snow north and west of the district, all the way across New Jersey into the New York City region. Much of that snow will melt today as we'll have a full day of sunshine with temperatures climbing quite high, well up into the 40s in many parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. Even milder conditions tomorrow, perhaps touching 50 degrees in many Mid-Atlantic locations. But then a strong cold front comes through tomorrow night, ushers in quite a cold shot that'll go all the way down into the deep south. In fact, northern Florida could have a freeze later on this weekend. Sunday looks like a very cold day in and around the eastern states of the U.S., and there is a potential for a coastal storm to develop. There's kind of an increasing threat here for a wave of low pressure to develop late Friday night into early Saturday, and perhaps throw some accumulating snow back into the Mid-Atlantic region late Friday night into the early part of Saturday. It's still a fluid situation, a lot going on for the computer forecast models to handle. The bottom line is a deep, long wave upper level trough will develop over the weekend, and there's potential for some kind of a storm to develop near the East Coast. Let's take a look at the latest surface map. Well, that wave of low pressure that dumped a couple of inches of snow in and around the Philly suburbs and erased across Virginia now is well off the East Coast. A little bit of a high pressure area here will produce some mostly sunny skies in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic for today. Here's the big story starting to take shape here. A cold front is beginning to develop here in the northern plains. Colder air is dropping from south central Canada into the northern plains, and this cold wave up here will drop all the way down into the deep south over the weekend. Again, a potential for a freeze in northern Florida, and it'll be very cold throughout the eastern states on Sunday. And the question is, will a wave of low pressure develop along the East Coast early in the weekend? And again, there is kind of an increasing threat for that to occur. Here's the very latest infrared satellite loop from the Wisconsin SSEC website. Lots of clear skies here in the eastern part of the country, the Northeast, all the way down to the Carolinas. The storm yesterday is now swirling here well off the East Coast. A little bit of snow over the upper part of the Midwest. And notice the flow of air here is bringing the clouds from south central Canada into the northern plains. That is where the cold air outbreak will originate. And again, it'll dive all the way down into the deep south over the weekend, causing perhaps a freeze in northern Florida sometime over the weekend, Saturday night into early Sunday. Well, we've talked all week about the potential for a storm to develop along the East Coast this week, and the main culprit is the fact that there is going to be a deep upper level trough with lots of waves of low pressure in the upper part of the atmosphere, short waves in the upper atmosphere swinging around this trough, and any kind of a phasing between these waves can set off the development of a storm. This is the very latest 12Z NAM model run, the upper level 500 millibar chart for this morning. There's kind of a trough right here throughout the central part of the country here. Nothing too dramatic at this time. Just want to point out what we have right now and what it may look like in 48 to 60 hours. Again, notice somewhat of a trough here, but it really intensifies over the next couple of days. In fact, let's now jump ahead. And here's the way that upper level trough develops in 48 hours from now. This is Thursday morning. Now we're looking ahead to Saturday morning from the very latest 12Z model run. Look at this deep trough here, and it's not quite reaching its peak at this time. Notice all these upper level short waves on the back side of this trough. Some kind of a phasing could easily set off some kind of a storm along the East Coast here. Models are having difficulty here because there's multiple waves here, so it's still a fluid situation. Of course, we'll monitor it over the next day or two. Now let's jump ahead to 60 hours from now. And here's the upper level pattern, 500 millibars for Saturday evening. A deep upper level trough, a strong upper level short wave swinging around the bottom of the trough, and again, that could set off a storm system along the East Coast. This will allow cold air to penetrate all the way down in the deep south, following these trajectories here right out of way up in Canada across the northern plains into the deep south. Curiously, it's going to be a quick shot. It looks like Sunday will be the coldest day of the next few, but Monday will modify fairly substantially compared to Sunday. It'll still be chilly on Monday, but quite a bit of modification occurs rather quickly as this cold shot pulls out by the time we get into the early part of next week. Well, let's now focus in at the surface here using the very latest 12Z NAM model run. This is for Friday evening. We'll look at Friday evening, tomorrow evening, and then Saturday morning and Saturday night. Now notice the main snow line is already dropped to the south and east here as that frontal system comes through early tomorrow night. And this is an area of moisture back in the cold air already starting to form. This is for tomorrow evening in the cold air, according to the very latest 12Z NAM model run. Now let's jump ahead 12 hours. And here we go to Saturday morning. Notice here low pressure starting to form off the coast, and quite a decent area of precipitation right over the Mid-Atlantic region from D.C. all the way into southeastern PA. And this just gradually kind of intensifies during the day on Saturday. Again, this is the very latest model run. Looks like this would be in the form of snow back in the cold air. Let's now jump ahead 12 more hours. And here's the NAM model run for Saturday evening. Still low pressure off the East Coast. Still some snow falling back into southeastern PA, maybe all the way to the D.C. metropolitan region. It takes a kind of a slow advance to the north and east once this area of moisture develops on late Friday night into early Saturday. So again, very latest model run continues to indicate the possibility of some accumulating snow over the weekend, late Friday night into Saturday, as this colder air pours into the eastern states. Notice again, it goes all the way down to Florida. Very well could be a freeze there over the weekend. So stay tuned to the SIAweather.com for updates over the next several hours. That's it for now. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.